Troubled Heights, a land divided. The Golan Heights, a region of immense historical and strategic significance, has long been a focal point of tension and conflict in the Middle East. This elevated plateau, with its rugged terrain and sweeping vistas, holds a commanding view over three nations: Israel, Lebanon, and Syria. A plateau overlooking Israel, Lebanon, Syria. Its strategic importance cannot be overstated, as control over this high ground offers significant military advantages. A place of beauty, scarred by conflict. The Golan Heights is a land where the echoes of past battles still resonate, and the scars of war are etched into the landscape. Since 1967, after the Six-Day War, it had been a flashpoint. The Six-Day War marked a turning point, with Israel capturing the Golan Heights from Syria, leading to decades of tension and intermittent skirmishes. Israel occupied it, Syria wanted it back. The region became a symbol of national pride and strategic necessity for both nations, each unwilling to cede control. The United Nations Disengagement Observer Force, or UNDOF, stood in the middle, keeping a fragile peace. Established in 1974, UNDOF's mission was to monitor the ceasefire and prevent further hostilities. For the Filipinos serving in UNDOF, it was a world away from their tropical home. The stark contrast between their lush homeland and the arid, conflict-ridden Golan Heights was a constant reminder of the challenges they faced. But they believed in the mission, to be peacekeepers, to protect civilians. Their dedication to maintaining peace and protecting the local population was unwavering, despite the harsh conditions and constant threat of violence. They never expected to be thrust into the heart of a war zone. The situation on the ground was volatile, and the peacekeepers often found themselves in precarious situations. In 2014, the situation took a turn. The already fragile peace was shattered as the conflict in Syria escalated, spilling over into the Golan Heights. The Syrian civil war, raging since 2011, spilled into the Golan. The war brought new actors into the region, complicating an already complex situation. Rebel groups, some affiliated with Al-Qaeda, gained ground. These groups saw the Golan Heights as a strategic asset, further destabilizing the region. The UN Peacekeepers, once observers, were now in the crossfire. Their role shifted from monitoring to active engagement as they navigated the dangers of a full-blown conflict. The Storm Brews, 2014, and the Escalation of Conflict, August 2014. The Syrian civil war raged. Rebel groups, including the Al-Nusra Front, an Al-Qaeda affiliate, launched a major offensive in the Golan Heights. Their target, the UNDOF positions, including Camp Faouar, manned by Filipino peacekeepers. The situation for the Filipino peacekeepers rapidly deteriorated. Surrounded, outnumbered, outgunned, demands to surrender were issued, but the Filipinos refused. They were there for peace, yes, but they would defend their post, their comrades, their honor. Courage under fire, the siege of Camp Faouar. The Al-Nusra Front tightened its grip on Camp Faouar. Filipino peacekeepers found themselves in a desperate fight for survival. Their blue helmets and UN flags offered little protection against the determined enemy. Food and ammunition ran low. The threat was real, the danger imminent, but surrender was not an option. With limited weapons, they prepared for the worst. They fortified their positions using whatever they could find. They were ready to fight, even if it meant making the ultimate sacrifice. Section 4, A Daring Escape. Bravery in the face of danger. As the situation grew more dire, a daring plan was hatched. The Filipino peacekeepers, under cover of darkness, would break through the rebel lines. They would use their vehicles, their training, and their courage to escape the siege. And escape they did. Under intense fire, they navigated a treacherous path. They dodged bullets and RPGs, their resolve never wavering. They reached the safety of Israeli lines, having also rescued trapped Fijian peacekeepers and Israeli soldiers. Section 5, A Brotherhood Forged in Battle, Filipinos and Israelis, a bond of courage. The Filipino peacekeepers' bravery resonated deeply in Israel. Their actions were not just a display of military prowess, but a testament to their unwavering commitment to peace and humanity. The Israeli crowd, filled with gratitude and admiration, cheered for these brave souls who had come from afar to protect and serve. They had risked their lives, not just for peace, but for the lives of Israeli soldiers. In the heat of battle, they stood firm, their resolve unshaken. The Filipino soldiers, clad in their combat gear, moved with precision and purpose, always ready to lend a helping hand to their comrades. This act of courage forged a bond between the two nations, a brotherhood born of shared danger and sacrifice. The camaraderie between the Filipino and Israeli soldiers was palpable, a testament to the deep respect and trust they had for one another. They stood together, united by a common goal and a shared sense of duty. The successful rescue operation, carried out with skill and determination, showcased the best of humanity amidst the horrors of war. It was a mission that required not just bravery, but also meticulous planning and flawless execution. The celebration that followed was not just for the success of the mission, but for the lives saved and the hope restored. The Filipino Peacekeepers embodied the true spirit of the UN, to protect, to serve, to stand for peace, even in the face of overwhelming odds. Their dedication and sacrifice were a beacon of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest times, there are those who will stand up for what is right, who will fight for peace and justice. Section 6. Global applause, heroes of peace, celebrated by the world. The world took notice. The courage of the Filipino peacekeepers, their refusal to abandon their post, their daring escape, captivated global attention. Praise poured in from world leaders, from the United Nations, from ordinary citizens. They were hailed as heroes, symbols of hope in a conflict-ridden world. Their actions transcended the battlefield. They reminded the world that even in the darkest of times, courage, compassion, and the unwavering commitment to peace can prevail. The Filipinos embodied these values, becoming an inspiration to their fellow peacekeepers and to people everywhere. Section 7. An enduring friendship, a legacy of courage and camaraderie. The events of August 2014 solidified the strong ties between the Philippines and Israel. It was a time when the world witnessed the bravery and solidarity of Filipino peacekeepers in the Golan Heights. Their actions not only saved lives but also showcased the deep-rooted values of courage and camaraderie that both nations hold dear. A shared history of resilience, of fighting for freedom, of valuing family and faith, resonated between the two nations. This bond was not formed overnight but was built over decades of mutual respect and shared experiences. From the dark days of World War II to the modern challenges of peacekeeping, the Philippines and Israel have stood side by side, supporting each other through thick and thin. The rescue operation added another layer to this bond, a debt of gratitude, a shared story of courage. Filipino peacekeepers, surrounded and outnumbered, held their ground with unwavering resolve. Their Israeli counterparts, recognizing the peril, coordinated a daring rescue that exemplified the spirit of brotherhood and mutual support. The legacy of the Filipino peacekeepers in the Golan Heights endures. Their bravery is commemorated in monuments and memorials, serving as a reminder of the sacrifices made in the name of peace. The Golan Heights, a region fraught with tension, has become a symbol of the enduring friendship between the Philippines and Israel. They are a testament to the power of courage under fire, to the unwavering commitment to peace, and to the enduring friendship between two nations, forged in the crucible of conflict. This legacy is not just about the past, it is a living, breathing testament to what can be achieved when nations come together with a shared purpose. The story of the Filipino and Israeli soldiers is a beacon of hope, a narrative of unity, and a promise of continued collaboration for a better future.